Hey everyone, I'm excited to be introducing City Lights, our first film that we're going to watch for Module 1 as required viewing. I used to always share this film, even when I taught the class in person on campus, as a great example of this first article PowerPoint that we're talking about the silent film era and the great silent film stars. And Chaplin's probably the greatest of all silent film stars and the one that's most remembered. He's still remembered for films such as The Kid, Modern Times, and the first film he did as a talkie film, The Great Dictator. What Chaplin did, and one of his most memorable characters, was the Tramp. He created a character in the teens in the 1920s called the Tramp. And the Tramp character was kind of a vagrant, homeless kind of character that got himself into trouble, often trying to help other people. He wore baggy pants and he had a kind of a false painted on mustache, and he wore a top hat and a cane. And again, he got himself into trouble, but Chaplin, being the brilliant filmmaker he was, always gave a social undercurrent to his films. Often in these films, the Tramp character was trying to help the poor or someone who couldn't speak out for themselves and give them a voice. And speaking of voices, the Tramp character never had a voice in film. So as the talkie era came in 1927, and why did that happen? In 1927, The Jazz Singer came out, a very popular film, as we talked about in the PowerPoint. And audiences after that point wanted to see films with dialogue, which we're accustomed today, where characters talk to each other and there's dialogue and we can hear what they're saying. But in the 1930s, when he decided to make City Lights in 1931, he decided not to give the Tramp a voice. He wanted to continue to use that character as a silent character where we just visualize what he's doing. And City Lights is considered a monument in film history, not only because it's a brilliant film blending comedy and drama, which we kind of know today as the dramedy, but it just pushes the buttons of visualizing gags, comic gags in a creative, masterful way, and then giving a subtext of poignancy to the storyline. In City Lights, the Tramp character meets a young woman who is blind, and of course he falls in love with her. And he has no money, of course. She runs into a financial issue, and he's trying his hardest, half-hearted attempts to make money for her. Often they go wrong, but he's still going to do anything he can to make some money and help her out. And this is what makes the film 93 years later very relatable to us. We can relate to someone who wants to sacrifice, who wants to do something for someone else because they love them. This is what makes the film fresh. When I showed it to my classes over the past 17 years, they always reacted to it with much enthusiasm. This film is known again for a very famous boxing scene, which is a brilliant comical look at him attempting to make money by boxing, which he's a novice at. And it's also known for its poignancy as we go toward a conclusion that's really still considered, again, masterpiece in film history. As you're watching the film, note what it's like to watch a film that's silent. We're so used to being in a room, or maybe we're in the kitchen doing something, our computer's near us, and we're listening to the film as well as watching it. Kind of hone on what it's like when you have to totally focus on a film visually. Anyway, I hope you enjoy 1931 City Lights, our film for Module 1.